do you live in this town, or?
No, I live in New York City.
Oh, okay. You came down for this, huh?
Yeah.
Nice.
Well, you're a big deal. Hello, it's Richard meeting
Hi.
Richard.
Hi. I'm a big deal. How are you?
Yeah. My first question had to be about VR Troopers.
Yes.
It was one of the highlights of my childhood.
We are VR.
You are VR.
We are VR.
We are VR.
Yes.
So, I didn't notice this when I was growing up, but now I've done all this research.
Mm-hmm.
I've noticed like all these differences in the adaptation with the original Japanese footage. Like some villains would be good guys, and some good guys would be bad guys, and some would be the most loyal, and some would be the least loyal, and reversed. And
Right.
I was just wondering, like, whose decision was it to change the script like that?
Well, you know, back in those days when we were doing a lot of these shows, you know, Haim Saban in particular. Oh, there's something on my coat. Are that your coat?
That's your code.
Oh, it's a ladybug. I guess that's good luck, right?
I guess.
Come on. Come on, ladybug. Flick you off. Sorry.
You can put them in the video.
There you go. I had a ladybug on my coat, but that's supposed to be good luck, so I shouldn't have maybe flicked it off. But anyway.
Hopefully that won't mean anything.
Haim Saban was brought these shows to America, and basically I think what he wanted to do was try to make them user-friendly for an American audience. So basically they had a team of writers that were involved with it. It was a lot of the same guys from Power Rangers that were involved with it, and they basically took these different shows. We had Beetleborgs, we had VR Troopers, we had Power Rangers, we had a couple other shows that the titles escape me right now, but they were all essentially the same kind of deals. That they bought the action footage from Japan, and then they would intersplice the the stories. So they would change them around, you know, however they wanted to change them. So I don't know that they made any specific decisions on who would be who and that sort of thing. I think they just kind of took them on a per show or per episode basis.
It was actually changed very differently.
Yeah, well, they did that with Power Rangers too. I mean, they took a very popular show in Japan and completely changed it.
Yeah, but they changed like the motives of the characters a lot. Like some good guys are bad guys. And
Yeah.
Some of the most loyal were the least loyal.
Yeah.
They even changed around the episode orders a lot.
Yeah, I know. They didn't care. They really didn't care. They had no respect for the original shows. They basically just saw them as filler for the shows that they wanted to create. So that's what they did.
Well, I guess they did make it a bit fillerish, but I still find it a very interesting adaptation.
Yeah. There's three of these guys over like taking over the room here.
Wow.
Isn't that funny? Look, there's three of them. 3 ladybugs. How about that?
Wow. This is like an infestation. Okay. So I would like to next talk about your character, Darkheart. Like, whose idea was it to like make him into like the Darth Vader of the VR Troopers?
I have no idea. You know, once again, it was pretty much the same team that worked on Power Rangers. So I'm not sure who it was that cast me, but I was very happy they did. I really liked the character tremendously.
Oh, really?
I did. I enjoyed playing him. He was fun to play, and he's actually, I believe, the first character that I've ever played that had its own action figure. So that for me was like a big deal. That was kind of cool. So I was very excited about that.
Did you get a copy of the action figure?
I did get an action figure. They didn't give me one. They never give you anything, these guys.
Oh, yeah.
But I actually went and saw it at the store and bought it. So I do have a copy of Darkheart in my collection. I have a thing at home in my office that I have a table, and it's got a few of the characters that I've played over the years on there. It's got the Joker and several Batos and several Jaycons and a few other characters that I played throughout my career. So it's kind of fun to have those things.
Do you have a photo of it online?
I don't.
This is a good time to pitch it.
Yeah, that's true. I don't. One of the coolest things I ever got. I did an interview for Sideshow, which is a company that makes these incredible figures of different.
Oh, like the DC Comics stuff?
Yeah, all that. So
That's high quality stuff.
It's incredible.
Yeah.
And they sent me. I did an interview for them as the Joker, talking about my work as the Joker. And they sent me, literally, it's about this tall.
Wow. It's almost as tall as you.
It's incredible. The Joker, and it's sculpted like, I mean, it's just incredible. And I've got that in the center of all that. And came out incredibly well, and so I was very excited about that.
I have a sort of ridiculous question to ask you since you've played like 300 different parts or something.
Well, closer to 4 now, but yeah.
Like, how would you rank Darkheart as one of your favorite characters?
Well, he is one of my favorite characters. I mean, granted it was a long time ago, so it's not like I remember a whole lot about him, but I just remember he was kind of a conflicted character because he's basically was a good guy turned into a bad guy, wasn't he? Kind of, wasn't that what the story was?
He was sort of brainwashed.
Yeah.
That's how. I'm guessing maybe it was a Judd Lynn storyline. I don't know if he was involved in the project back then, but that's normally how Judd Lynn writes his characters.
Yeah, and but his son was one of the VR troopers, right? Wasn't
Right.
He? So I think his son realized that it was his father at one
Yeah,
point.
that was. I don't know why, but for whatever reason, that hit me a lot harder. Maybe because I was older or something than when I found out Anakin Skywalker was Darth Vader. I don't know why, but I just had that effect on me.
Yeah, well, it's kind of a similar thing, and I think, quite frankly, Lucas got the idea from some Japanese stories also. I could be wrong, but I think he was influenced, or let's say inspired by some of these Japanese stories, because they have a lot of that sort of thing in them. So.
Oh, maybe I'll have to look it up.
Yeah.
Have you watched The Hidden Fortress?
I haven't actually. I haven't.
It's
Is that
actually
what he's supposed to be?
It's very similar to Star Wars.
Yeah.
They even have like those two guys, the C-3PO and R2-D2 basically, except they're like humans instead of robots.
Wow. Yeah. I'm looking askance at the camera. In the meantime, he's got $80 billion, so he's done pretty well with it.
Yeah.
But the original Star Wars, whether whose idea was, it's really kind of a classic story, and of course we just revisited it recently because Ellen just did the Navajo version of it, dubbed it into Navajo, so we got to see it again, and it is really a great story. The characters are great, and I loved the original 3. The second 3 that came after that I wasn't so crazy about, and I'm hoping that the new ones will be great again, but
yeah.
We'll see.
Yeah, sometimes you just can't capture that magic again.
Yeah, I mean, the whole thing was, the reason I think those movies were so successful is because you really cared about those characters, and I don't think you cared about the characters in the next 3 as much.
So how did you become involved in VR Troopers? Was it through Tony Oliver and his work in Robotech, or?
No, I mean, Tony and I have known each other for a long time, and we worked on a lot of projects. In fact, I got Tony the part of Lupin the Third.
Oh, really? I
And
didn't know that.
Yeah, well, I directed the show and I cast it,
That would help.
and I had to really fight for Tony. They didn't want Tony, and I thought Tony would be perfect. And I to this day, I can't imagine anybody else playing that part because he did a great job with it, and I think he was terrific. But Tony and we started out doing a lot of this stuff in this anime together in the early days, and then Tony went on to become a producer for Saban, and so I don't know that I had that much to do with Tony particularly, because a lot of the stuff was cast by either the directors or the different people that were the showrunners of those shows, and so whoever was doing it, Scott Page Pachter was involved with a lot of it. He was one of the producers of Power Rangers, and then he became producers of he was the ADR director on a lot of these shows, and he and David Walsh did a lot of the stuff together. And then actually I did a lot of the ADR direction on all those shows as well. So they decided to have me do this character for whatever reason. They thought my voice was a good fit for him, and I'm glad they did, because like I say, he was a fun character to play. I was sorry that there wasn't more of him, actually.
Yeah, there was only 6 episodes.
Yeah, I was kind of hoping that it was going to turn into a major story arc and he'd be around for a long time, but that didn't happen.
Yeah, I was really hoping he was going to come back for the 2nd season.
Yeah, me too.
Like Tyler Steele did.
Yeah, me too. But that didn't happen. So,
luckily you were still Colonel Icebot at least.
That's true. I was Colonel Icebot. That was a lot of fun. We had a lot of fun in those days, and we got to we're all all those guys that worked on that stuff together, we're all friends to this day, and we all hang out and see each other and do work together, and so we had a lot of fun. We would come and do these big Wallace sessions with several people doing on the wall, and we do these characters, like Colonel Icebot and the different characters like that, and it was really fun. Wow, these things are just everywhere, aren't
we should edit out the parts with all the ladybugs.
Oh my God.
Maybe we'll get in trouble with
The-
them and they'll kick us out forever.
The prayer and the ladybug room. I hope those are ladybugs.
It's nicknamed the ladybug room.
Yeah, I think we should. What is that thing coming out of its back? I've never seen that on a ladybug before. That's kind of frightening. Maybe
Is that
it's,
an alien, or are we being infested by aliens?
I think it's morphed into something dangerous. I'm getting my foot off that chair.
You hear about like that corn that was supposed to kill like bugs, but the bug ended up eating it anyway?
Oh, yeah, there's all kinds of horrible things. I don't know about that. This is definitely the ladybug chair. Yes, you have another question for me.
Yeah. Like you really liked your experience on VR Troopers, right?
I did have fun, yeah.
Is that what drew you into Cyborg 009, which was influenced by one of the creators of the original Japanese footage?
No, but one of the guys Michael Sorich, who was one of the other characters, along with Mike.
Decimator, Babu,
Yeah,
Moody Stalker.
exactly. So we did a lot of stuff together in Power Rangers, and we've been friends for a while. And actually, I've known Michael all the way back to my Universal days when I played Dracula at the Universal Studios tour show.
Really?
Castle Dracula. I was Dracula, and he was a show announcer, so that's how we knew each other from that.
Hollywood or Florida?
In Hollywood.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow, that must have been a good time.
That was, many moons ago, but
Who did he play?
he was a show announcer. He
Oh,
wasn't,
he was the
he
show
wasn't in
announcer.
our show, but he was in another show. He always